I slammed my shoulder into the driver's door and it didn't move. Not locked, not stuck. It didn't move at all. I grabbed the inside handle and yanked it again, harder this time, and the whole frame just held. No give, no rattle, nothing. What? I said, too loud for how quiet it was inside. I twisted, hit the lock, unlocked it, pulled the handle again, and pushed the door. Nothing. I braced my foot against the center console and shoved my shoulder into it. And that's when I heard it. A soft stretch, then a faint, tacky snap, like something outside was pulling and sealing right back into place. Then I felt my chest tighten. I leaned forward and wiped at the fog on the window with my sleeve, clearing just enough to see through. And then I saw it. Tape. Clear strips layered over the entire edge of the door and the window, over the seam, over the glass, crossed over each other, pressed flat. I pulled back from it immediately, then leaned in again just to be sure. There was more of it, everywhere I looked. Not a few pieces, not one layer, dozens, stacked, holding the entire door shut and the window. Every seam I could see had tape over it. It wasn't just one or two strips. It was layered and built up. Clear packaging tape, it looked like, and duct tape on top of it. I looked over at the driver's side door. Same thing. Layers on every seam around every door and window. I peered out toward the back cargo hatch and could make out, just barely, tape on the window as well. I was sealed in my own car. I kept telling myself it had to be a joke, someone messing around, a campground prank, but I hadn't set anything up, no chairs, no fire. I'd gotten in late, parked, folded the seats down in the back of my SUV, crawled into my sleeping bag, and that was it. I didn't know anyone there. I hadn't even talked to anyone. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. The beam lit up the inside fine, but when I pressed against the window, it just reflected back. The tape on the outside turned the glass cloudy, almost white. I couldn't see through it anymore. I said, "Hey," loud and then louder, "Hey!" Nothing came back. No footsteps, no voices. It was a place tucked in the woods near the Daniel Boone National Forest, near Laurel River Lake. I'd been there once a long time ago. The campground had been busy during the day. I'd seen a couple people glance over while I parked. One guy near the trailhead had looked at me for a little too long. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. Now I couldn't stop seeing his face. I tried my phone. There was no service. One bar flickered and then dropped to nothing. I swore and hit the door again, harder this time, shoulder first. Pain shot down my arm, but the door didn't flex. Whatever they had used, it wasn't coming off easy. And then my body reminded me why I'd woken up in the first place. The pressure hit my bladder hard. I doubled over slightly and just sat there, breathing, trying to think. I wasn't getting out right now. Was someone watching me? I crawled into the back, dug through my stuff, and found an empty water bottle. It took longer than it should have. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. All the while, I wondered if there was someone outside watching what I was doing. After that, I couldn't lie back down. I sat upright in the driver's seat, staring at the windshield. Same thing there. Layers of clear tape overlapping in strips, with thicker gray duct tape reinforcing the edges. Whoever did it, they didn't rush. They sealed every possible opening. I turned the key in the ignition. The engine came to life immediately. And for a second, I felt relief, like I had control again. I hit the power windows to try and open them, but nothing. I tried again, held the button down. The motor made a strained, grinding sound like it was trying to move, but the glass didn't shift at all. It couldn't. It was pinned in place from the outside. I said, come on, and kept pressing it anyway. Of course, nothing. I leaned forward and hit the horn. It blasted through the quiet, loud and sharp. I waited, but there was no response. I hit it again, longer this time, still nothing. No one yelling, no footsteps, no tent zippers, nothing. It was like I was the only person there. That's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was just my reflection, a small point of light off to the side near the tree line. I leaned closer to the glass, squinting. The tape blurred everything, but the light moved, slow, horizontal, and then it stopped. I whispered, "Hello?" The light flicked once, not like a flashlight, more focused, narrow, almost like a laser pointer or something reflecting off glass. I shifted in my seat, trying to get a better angle. "Hey," I called out, "can you hear me? I'm stuck in here." The light disappeared, just gone. I sat there, holding my breath, waiting for it to come back, but it didn't. I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was still out there, watching. Time dragged after that. I thought about driving away, but was scared that whoever had done this had tampered with my vehicle in some other way. I checked my phone over and over, hoping for a signal, but nothing. The engine idled for a while before I shut it off to save gas. The silence that followed felt worse. Every small sound outside stood out, branches shifting, leaves brushing together. At one point, I heard footsteps, slow, crunching lightly over gravel. They circled the car. I didn't see anything. I froze completely, barely breathing. "Hey," I said quieter this time. "Please, I need help." The footsteps stopped near the driver's door, but still I saw no one. I turned my head slowly toward the window, but all I could see was my dim reflection in the cloudy tape. No shape, no face, nothing. Then the steps continued around the back and then gone. No car starting, no voices, no door slams, just gone. Morning didn't come fast enough. The first real sound of people came with voices. Distant at first, then closer. I sat up straight and hit the horn over and over. "Hey, hey, I'm in here." Eventually, footsteps rushed over. "What the hell?" a voice said. Another voice, a woman, said, "Is someone inside?" "Yes," I shouted. "I can't get out. The doors are taped." There was a pause. Then, "Oh my God." Hands pressed against the outside. I could hear them touching the tape and ripping at it. "Who did this?" the man said. "I don't know," I said. "Just please get me out." "Hold on," he said. "I've got a knife." I heard slicing. The tape made a tearing, sticky sound as it was peeled and cut away. It took longer than I expected, layer after layer. They kept saying things like, "This is insane," and "there's so much of it." Finally, the driver's door jerked slightly. "Try it now," he said. I pulled. The door opened a few inches, then wider, and pushed it all the way open. Fresh air hit me all at once. I stepped out, legs shaky. Everyone just stared at the car. In the daylight, it looked worse. Clear packaging tape wrapped around every seam, thick bands of duct tape reinforcing it. It wasn't random. It was deliberate, careful. The woman said, "We saw someone last night." I looked at her. "What?" She nodded slowly. I woke up around, I don't know, maybe 2. I saw someone walking around your car." The man added, "We thought it was you, like you were checking something." "I wasn't out here," I said. They exchanged a look. "He wasn't using a flashlight," the woman said, "just moving around quietly." "I didn't hear anything," the man said. "No doors, no engine." I turned and looked at the trees, same spot where I'd seen the light. "Where did he go?" I asked. The man shook his head. "That's the thing. I watched for a bit, then I lost sight of him. I expected a car or something, but nothing." Later, we went to the campground office. The attendant looked confused. "Well, no one checked in or out overnight," she said. "We don't have cameras out there either." I asked if anyone else had reported anything. She hesitated and then said, "Someone this morning mentioned their cooler having been moved about 20 feet from where they left it." That was it. No explanation. No one saw a vehicle leave. No one heard anything. I went back to my SUV once more before I left. There was still adhesive residue along the driver's door, sticky and stubborn. The other doors and cargo hatch were still taped shut. Whoever did it had stood inches from where I was sleeping, working slowly, quietly. And at some point, while I was awake, hitting the horn, calling out, they were still close enough to watch me trying to get out.